as a working class person, I don't feel welcome in this area anymore.
I couldn't put a timescale on it, but these communities will die.
The Lake District is beautiful. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, popular with holidaymakers the world over. But local people here have a different story to tell.
There isn't any housing.
The people that are really causing the issues is people buying up houses and using them for second homes and running it as Airbnbs.
The Lake District has a housing crisis. We're here to find out how hard it is for local residents to find somewhere to live, and if anything can be done to help them stay in the area they're from.
I couldn't find a shoebox to live in.
I think it's a managed decline. I think they're trying to push working class people out into the suburbs.
Alex Winston's story is typical for many younger people in the area. He's been forced to move 35 miles away from his work at a cash and carry in Windermere. He simply can't find a home in the area he grew up in, and is clear about what and who he thinks is to blame.
In terms of housing, all I've seen is the prices just going up and up and up and up and up, and second homes just everywhere. Airbnbs everywhere. Because they've got a lot of money, it always talks, you know what I mean? They sort of buy the way into the area and then that's it, they're set. They've got money, they can stay. If you're poor, you can go.
A quick look online reveals the serious shortage of affordable homes to rent for locals like Alex. I took a look this morning and there are currently 2,877 active holiday lets and Airbnbs in this area. If you look for somewhere to rent privately for residential reasons, you'll find that there are just 62 properties.
I think it's a managed decline, but it's to push people like me out, to make sure that I can't afford to live around here and stay around here.
It's too late for Alex. He's already been priced out of his home and made the decision to leave. But others are still clinging on in the hope that something can be done to enable them to stay where they grew up. Bowness is just down the road from Windermere. There's also a shortage of homes for private rent here. We're here to meet a man in his early 40s who has lived in the lakes his whole life. He works at a popular tourist attraction, but he was recently threatened with eviction and will only speak about the housing situation in Bowness on condition of anonymity.
Certainly over the last probably 2 years, it's got extremely difficult. I was going to move, like so many have. I part care for my dad. He's quite old now, 79, quite disabled to some degree, and needs my support. I should have an option to find a reasonable place to rent. Nothing seems to be changing, it's getting worse and worse.
The post-COVID staycation boom has exacerbated an existing problem. If the workers that the community needs to survive continue to be priced out, what kind of future does the Lake District face? Former Lib Dem leader Tim Farron has been a local MP here for 17 years. We asked him what he thinks is needed to prevent his community from being hollowed out.
I mean, in short, I couldn't put a timescale on it, but these communities will die. When you see places like Coniston with more than 50% second home ownership, it's killing the economy as well as killing the community. At the moment, as far as planning is concerned, a permanent home, a second home and a hold it let are all the same thing. And you can move from one to another without asking anybody's permission. You shouldn't be able to. So we should create two new categories of planning use, second home and hold it let alongside permanent dwelling. And for someone to change their permanent dwelling or to sell a permanent dwelling to somebody else, then choose to use it for another purpose, they wouldn't be allowed to do so.
While Tim's proposed legislation hopes to change the law at a national level, local groups have long been working tirelessly to find a solution from within. Anne Hall is a retired Conservative councillor who was awarded an MBE for her services to Lakeland communities. She's been working with 2 regional housing groups since 2002 to secure properties for low-income families to rent, having recognised decades ago how important housing would be for protecting the communities here.
And I've worked with my local Coniston housing group, and we've helped get finance and land for 62 houses. I'm also a member of the Lakeland Housing Trust. When I joined, we had 32 houses, and we've currently got 53. And our rents are very reasonable. They range from £90 a week to 400. But the 400 one is probably a 4-bedroom house. It's about having these people here who can help the local businesses, and it may be mums who only want part-time work, and that suits the businesses.
All markets need refereeing to create space there to be people of all economic groups, income groups to be able to live. And this is a national park. And we know if we live here and I serve this community, I'm not just looking after this place for the people who live here. This is for the country, the world as a whole. It's a World Heritage Site, and yet it's increasingly only available for the stupidly wealthy. And simple changes in law and in tax rules would enable us to protect it so it's available for everybody.